pop up.
There it is.
Okay. Good afternoon. We are meeting here today for Janet's IEP, and I think I'm supposed to let everybody know that this is all right. Welcome to today's IEP meeting. I want to let you know that this Zoom call is being recorded. So good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today for this important meeting. My name is Erin Davis, and I am the principal of Best Schools Elementary. It's a privilege to work with such a dedicated and committed team of educators, specialists, and family members as we come together to support Janet today. The purpose of today's meeting is to conduct our annual review and develop a new IEP for the coming school year. This IEP will serve as a roadmap for her educational journey, ensuring that she receives the appropriate support and resources needed to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. I want to emphasize the collaborative nature of this process. Each of you brings unique insights and expertise, and it is through our collective efforts that we can create the most effective and supportive plan for Janet. Your input, observations, and recommendations are invaluable, and I encourage open dialogue and active participation throughout our meeting. The goal of the IEP meeting today is to ensure every opportunity to succeed and reach her fullest potential. As we review the assessments, set goals, and outline the services and accommodations that will best support Janet, let's keep her strengths, interests, and individual needs at the forefront of our discussion. Thank you again for your time, commitment, and collaboration. We'll begin with introductions and sharing our roles in supporting Janet. So we have Tara Ammons, the special education teacher, Senora Moore, the foster mom. We have Molly Robinson, our caseworker. We have Deven Reddit, our general education teacher, and Christy Mink, our psychometrist. I am Erin Davis, the principal. And now it is time to review the agenda for this meeting. We will review the previous IEP goals and progress. We will present the levels of academic achievement and functional performance. We will go over the accommodations and modifications for Janet. We will talk to special education and the related services. We will have a parental guardian concerns and inputs, and then we will have a summary and agreement at the end of the meeting. I expect this meeting to last somewhere around 45 minutes to an hour. Is everyone available to stay for that length of time?
Yes.
Okay. Now it's time for the ground rules. We're all familiar with these, but we need to review them quickly. Confidentiality. Information discussed here is confidential and should not be discussed outside the team. Number 2, participation. Everyone's input is valuable. Please share your observations, insights, and recommendations. Number 3, we need to remember to be respectful in our communications, no interrupting or talking over each other. Remember that our focus here is on Janet and doing what is best for her education. Ask questions if something is said that you don't understand. All right, and then the last thing is the statement of confidentiality. As we gather today for this IEP meeting, it's imperative that we all understand and respect the importance of confidentiality. The information discussed today regarding Janet is private and sensitive. By participating in this meeting, we all agreed to the following: confidentiality. All information shared during this meeting, including the student's educational records, personal details, progress reports, and any other related information, is strictly confidential. Limitation of the information sharing. The details discussed here are to be used solely for the purpose of developing and implementing Janet's IEP. They are not to be shared outside of this meeting without proper authorization from Janet's parents or guardians, or as required by law. We must respect the privacy of Janet and their family. This includes maintaining the confidentiality of any written verbal information shared during this meeting, and we must also have secure handling of the documents. All Documents related to this IEP, including meeting notes, reports, and plans, should be stored securely and accessed only by authorized individuals. By signing below, we acknowledge our understanding and agreement to uphold the confidentiality of all information shared during this IEP meeting. And that concludes the introduction. We will turn it over to the special education teacher now, Miss Ammons.
Okay, I assume y'all have the IEP pulled up. I'm gonna go ahead and start at the beginning for the strengths of the student. So we conducted that Janet is a sweet child with no apparent behavioral problems. Her favorite music artists are Jennifer Lopez and Taylor Swift, and she loves singing songs from those artists, which teachers have said she sounds exactly like them. She has a passion for art and music, and she desires to do well in school, although she can be shy in group activities and class discussions. Any questions so far? Okay. And then the parental concerns, based on the parent survey, Janet's grandmother feels that Janet needs the most help in reading and communication skills. Her main hope for Janet is to become better at reading and communicating with others. And she feels that Janet works best in small group instruction or one-on-one with a teacher. She enjoys music and fashion, and she wants to see the best version of Janet and hopes that this school year will allow Janet to open up and make new friends. And then for the students' preferences or interests, based on the student survey, Janet reports that she enjoys looking through fashion magazines and girls' life magazines. She enjoys art and drawing pictures of clothes and shoes. She reports that she loves to sing on the playground and enjoys songs by Jennifer Lopez and Taylor Swift. However, she feels that she struggles in reading and wants to become better at reading. And she reports that she loves animals and loves them as her audience when she reads. Do y'all have any questions so far? Any add or change anything? Okay. And then the next will be the results of the most recent evaluations. Christy, did you want to say those?
Yes.
Go over those.
So I used the Woodstock-Johnson Mastery Test for the evaluation of Janet. And this kind of is broken down into 4 different categories. The first category is word identification, where she just reads words in increasing difficulty. And she scored at a 1.2 grade level on this. Then we'll move on to word attack. That's the second category. So that's just her reading nonsense words in increasing difficulty. And on that one, she scored at a 1.4 grade level. Okay, on the third is word comprehension. And overall, she scored at a 1.8 grade level. Janet read words that were antonyms, synonyms, and analogies. For antonyms, she actually scored at a 2.2 grade level. And then for synonyms, she scored at a 2.4 grade level. In analogies, she scored at a 1.3 grade level. Now, the fourth category was passage comprehension. And for that section, she scored at a 1.4 grade level. And this was just used to measure Janet's ability to study a sentence or a short passage and exercise a variety of comprehension and vocabulary skills to identify a missing word by filling in the blank. This brings Janet's overall reading level to a 1.7 grade level. And with these results, we are able to qualify Janet under the IDEA category of specific learning disability.
Okay, next we'll go to the academic, developmental, and functional needs of the student. So we conducted that Janet has the ability to participate in the general education classroom, but she requires specialized instruction to access all information. Janet has difficulty decoding words, blends, and frequently used sight words. Her writing skills and reading skills at our first grade level, and Janet's deficits in reading require her to need the assistance of the special education department to be successful in the general education classroom. Janet needs guidance on appropriate behaviors to interact with all group members when completing group work. She will shut down when group members challenge her answers, and she doesn't always make eye contact with her peers or adults. However, she will make eye contact with classroom pets, a turtle, and a small guinea pig. She will make eye contact with the reading dog that visits the classroom twice a week and read to him in the reading choral area of the class. And then under other, it's basically just her kind of something that wasn't discussed in the profile page. So she doesn't have any behaviorals that impedes the learning of others. She will be a 5th grade student with a specific learning disability in reading comprehension, and she'll be 9 years old at Best Schools Elementary during this school year. And extended school year services were discussed and not indicated at this time, which means basically if they don't retain information over the summer, they'll be provided extended school year services. So that way they're kind of going back over basic skills and comprehension through the summer program. And we feel that she didn't need that. And then on the next page, it'll be her, these boxes are kind of like special instructional factors. So she doesn't have a behavior that impedes the learning of others. She doesn't have a behavioral intervention plan. She doesn't have limited English proficiency. She doesn't need the instruction in Braille and the use of Braille, but we did say that she had communication needs since she struggles with communicating with others and having trouble with eye contact. And then does the student need assistive technology devices and or services? I marked no. She doesn't require specially designed PE, and she is not working towards the AAA standards. And we don't have transition services because she hasn't reached the 9th grade yet. And she will be under transportation parent contract, which means the school will provide transportation or reimbursement for transportation since she is in foster care. And then will the student have the opportunity to participate in non-academic extracurricular activities with his or her non-disabled peers? And yes, she does have opportunity to participate in those athletic extracurricular activities. And then her annual progress reports will be sent to her parents or her foster parents every 9 weeks. Basically just saying where she's at right now, how she's doing in class. Okay. And then next we will go over the reading goal for this coming up year. So in the area of reading, she has the ability to participate in the general education classroom, but she requires specialized instruction. And she has difficulty decoding words, blends, and frequently used sight words. And her writing skills and reading skills are at the 1st grade level, which requires her to need the assistance of the special education department. And so basically we just come up with a measurable annual goal from the Alabama Course of Study reading standards. And basically the special education department and we'll work with her general education teachers and make sure she's accomplishing those goals by the end of May of 2024. So it says she will be able to determine or clarify the meaning of unknown and multiple meaning words and phrases, choosing flexibility from a range of strategies with 80% accuracy in 3 out of 4 of attempts. So we kind of do 3 out of 4 attempts. So that way she's not assessed on one particular test, whether she says she passes or fails or accomplishes that goal. We kind of want to do it more than one time to see if she's retaining the information and what we need to do to keep her achieving those goals. And then the second goal, she'll interpret how authors use literary elements through a text, including character, setting, conflict, dialogue, and point of view with 80% accuracy in 3 out of 4 attempts. And she'll be assessed through teacher observation, work samples, and grades. And then we also included benchmarks for her too as well, just to make sure she's on the right path, completing her goals by May. And this one says by December 2023, Janet will write down unknown words in a written story and use context clues to determine meaning. And by December 2023, Janet will read a short story and identify literary elements. So basically, those are the benchmarks that will help her complete her goals by May. And then she'll also have a behavior goal for the school year. So when she's given a task or assignment, Janet will begin the task within 1 minute and stay on task for at least 20 minutes with 0 verbal prompts and no more than 1 gestural prompt, improving task initiation skills from 0 out of 10 task opportunities to 8 out of 10 opportunities. We basically think we just put these in place for her to stay on track with her behavioral goals. So that way she doesn't reach any behavioral problems in the future. Not saying that she will, but we just kind of keep those. That way she's provided. the resources. And we'll base that off teacher observation and work samples. And then on the next page is her services and accommodations that she'll receive. So she will be in English intervention class for 3 times weekly for 60 minutes. And it'll be in the resource room. So basically they'll go over basic reading and communication skills as well, how to read aloud and work on those with her. And then her accommodations needed for assessments. So we give her the opportunity to have extended time, and that'll be 2 times the time allowed given for the test. And she'll take her test in the resource room for small group testing to limit distractions and quietness. Well, and then she'll also have the text to speech as well in the gen education classroom or resource room. So that's basically for like if assignment is on their Chromebook, she'll have the opportunity to have text to speech features so that way she can listen to it as well. And then assistive technology, the text to speech software. So we said as needed, and that'll be in both the gen ed classrooms and resource room. So basically just like reading, if we have digital assignments, she'll be able to have text to speech options available as well. And then in most Chromebooks, they have the Google spell check, and they also have the speech to text accommodations as well. So you can talk into your computer and it'll type it on the screen for those assignments. And then next we have the support from personnel. So we concluded that the speech language pathologist will visit her 2 times a month for 30 minutes to kind of help her work on her communication and self-advocacy skills to become more open to discussing what she needs. And then we also provided her counseling 3 times weekly for 15 minutes in the counselor's office. So she basically has permission with a written note from her teacher to visit the counselor when she feels upset 3 times per week. So we kind of don't just say as needed, because some of the students will go in there, every moment of the day, the whole class period. So we kind of just limit her options to where if they have a little downtime in class, she's allowed to go to the counselor if she's feeling upset and needs somebody to talk to. And then on the next page would be the transfer of rights. So she does attend the school he or she would attend if she was non-disabled. And then she doesn't receive all the special education services with non-disabled peers because she's in the general education classroom for 80% of the time. And the only time she'll come out of her gen ed classroom is taking tests in the resource room or making up assignments in the resource room to limit distraction. And then she'll have reading intervention class too in the resource room to help her throughout the year. And then the copy of the IEP will be sent home tomorrow. So that way I can finalize everything, print it off, and I'll send it home to you. And I think that's it. Do y'all have any questions, want to add or change anything?
I do, as a caseworker, I do want to make sure that on all of the future school meetings related to her academic performance, that I would be included on those, as well as the foster mother. Can we make sure that happens?
Yes.
And then when you were talking about the accommodations for test taking, would those be the same accommodations for any standardized test?
Yes. So the standardized testing, they will have this extended time, and then the text to speech options as well.
Okay,
and
great.
small group testing. Okay. Any more questions, concerns, or anything? Add anything?
Well,
As the gen ed teacher, I think it would be great if we assigned Janet a buddy in the classroom that would kind of help her self-esteem, somebody she could go to if she needed, and plus as a reading partner. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I do
Do you
too.
want me to put that in And
No,
the
I don't think you necessarily have to put it in there. I just think that it would be good for her just to have a certain person to go to. I've seen it work good in the past, so.
All right, Miss Moore, what
Oh.
questions do you have for us?
Well, I don't have any questions. My main concern was for Janet is about her delay in reading and writing. But what I want to ask the team, I was looking at maybe outside of school, putting Janet into a program like Huntington Learning Center, maybe to work on her reading skills and try to help build her self-confidence. And I want to know from the team, what do you think about that?
I think that would be great because she's a really sweet child and she seems to like being around other kids, but I think that would even help with her communication skills and building relationships because she's very shy.
Thank you.
Dr. Mink, do you have some, I guess you have like a list of resources or something that we could give to Miss Moore to help her with that? You don't have to list them right now. I'm just asking if you have a list.
I don't have a list, but I can get it to her as soon as possible.
Okay. I wasn't asking for the list right now.
And even if you have something that you could get to me as the general education teacher that could, help her when we have a little downtime in the classroom that I could help her with.
Okay.
And as her foster parent, I just want the team to know that I'm here every step of the way for Janet. So whatever I can do to help her, please feel free to call me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And if we don't have any more questions or concerns or anything, y'all can just sign the IEP. I'll send it through email. And then that'll be it. And I'll send it a paper copy home.
Okay.
That sounds great. Does anybody have anything else that we need to add?
No, not at this time. Thank you, though.
I have a question. Is she going to be taking all of her tests in the resource room?
Yes. So all summative tests will be in the resource room.
Okay.
Just
All right.
summative tests. Now, if there's a day that she needs to take it for like a quiz or something, she can still go in the resource room if she feels better taking it in the resource room.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, does everyone agree to what we did with the IEP here today?
Yes.
Yes.
I think our main goal is to move Janet along so that she can grow as she needs to.
Okay.
And catch her up with her classmates.
I think we have a great idea or a great plan to move her forward, and we can start on the next steps and start implementing this.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.